Shalom, Kol Halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Makal Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them, that taught us His truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. I'm the brother Yahshua, I'm back, and this is the daily update, all right, of the third well, all right. And we're going to start here with Zephaniah 3 and 8, all right, because this is what's going on. All right, though it tarry, wait for it. All right, it's going down. Maybe not in the time that you want, but patience is what we got to have right now, right? All right? Therefore, wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. All right? It's not going nowhere. It has started, it has began, and it won't turn back until the word of the Most High has been accomplished. All right? We're not going backwards. All right, so let's watch a couple of videos. We'll keep it as short as possible. All right, so this is Deep Journal channel, May 23rd. Not sure what is today. Salakia. I don't have my phone, so. See, the 23rd. This is probably yesterday, so. All right, let's move forward. Breaking violent explosions in Iran immediately after threatening Israel. Blinded for nuclear bomb. Okay. So there was an explosion at a drone plant in the middle of Iran or Persia, whatever you want to call it, letting you know that the ceasefire is not a ceasefire, it's an increased fire. All right, strategically. They might have stopped around the Gaza Strip bombing, but they're bombing, and they got espionage, they got some skullduggery going on inside Persia proper, right? They got agents, right? Double agents, whatever, you know, doing what they've been programmed to do. So this is not going anywhere, all right? Don't be fooled. And plus, you need the element of surprise to have peace and safety, and then sudden destruction. All right, so let's watch this.
According to reports in the morning, an explosion occurred in Iran's Isfahan province. According to the latest information, the explosion took place in a strategically important industrial facility for the Iranian army. This increases the likelihood of the explosion being sabotaged. 9 people were reportedly injured in the blast. We will examine the details about this in a moment. It seems that Iran will pay a heavy price for the gains in nuclear talks. The end of the treaty on observation of nuclear power plants made in order to replace the economic sanctions on Iran by the USA is a sign that the tension in the Vienna talks will increase. The fate of the images remains uncertain. In addition, the Israeli media accusing Iran of reporting events late and wrong may be a sign that the scale of the friction between Israel and Iran has increased. The U.S. easing sanctions on Iran does not like Israel, the most important U.S. ally in the Middle East. In addition, this situation increases the strategic...
Salakia. Damn devil. Here we go.
Strategic importance of Iraq for the USA. According to the report by the state media in the morning hours of Sunday, the explosion occurred in the first light of the morning at the
That was yesterday. All right, ain't no ceasefire. All right, it's a ceasefire in the land, right? Gaza, what they call Israel or whatever, but not in the world. This thing is going down. That's why they call it a world war.
which is located 45 kilometers from Isfahan state, where the chemical and explosives are produced. It was reported that in the fire that broke out after the explosion, 9 people were injured and emergency response teams were sent to the area. The cause of the explosion in the Sepahan Nargostar chemical industry is under investigation, and 9 injured were hospitalized, said Abbas Abedi, the state's emergency spokesperson. He made explanations in the form. According to the latest information, it is stated that the explosion took place in the center of Iran, in a complex where a factory producing military unmanned aerial vehicles for the Islamic Republic. The explosion came just days after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told the German foreign minister that a drone dropped in Israel's airspace during the clashes with Hamas in Gaza last week was an Iranian-made drone that entered via Iraq or Syria. Israel has previously been held responsible for explosions at Iran's nuclear facilities. The Iranian Revolutionary Guards announced a new military drone called...
Let me go back on that because that's very important what they just said. This. Israel has previously been held responsible for explosions at Iran's nuclear facilities. How? Are they shooting are they shooting long-range missiles over there? No. They got people on the inside working for them. Maybe turncoats. Maybe what we would call speckled bird. You got Israeli nationalists looking like or being a double agent. All right.
Explosions at Iran's nuclear facilities. The Iranian Revolutionary Guards announced a new military drone called Gaza on Friday. In addition, Iran allowed the International Atomic Energy Agency to record activities at some nuclear facilities. Iran has stated that in accordance with the IAEA treaty, inspectors will no longer be able to take images from nuclear facilities. The Iranian parliament speaker said on Sunday that international investigators will no longer have access to surveillance images of the Islamic Republic's nuclear facilities, which has escalated tensions in Vienna amid Tehran's diplomatic efforts to save its atomic deal with world powers. Iranian parliamentary spokesperson Mohammad Bagher Kalibaf's comments broadcast by state television further highlighted the narrowing window for the United States and others to reach an agreement with Iran. The Islamic Republic is currently enriching and storing uranium far beyond what the 2015 nuclear agreement allows. Regarding this, and due to the 3-month expiration, the International Atomic Energy Agency will definitely not have access to the images as of May 22, said Kalibaf. The International Atomic Energy Agency said its Director General would brief reporters in Vienna later on Sunday.
All right, so this is a bunch of fucking jargon. Nobody gives a shit about the EIEIO. All right? Or the AI, what? IAEA. The EIEIO. All right? Nobody gives a damn about that. They're going to do what the hell they're going to do anyway. All right? While acting as though they're in accordance with any, energy agency. All right? That's propaganda. Anyway, so as we can see, the war rages on. So let's look at Secret Files. Secret Files 333. Let's see what the latest is. All right. Iran, a longtime backer of Hamas, cheers attacks on Israel. What attacks? Okay. Aren't we supposed to be in a ceasefire, or is it an increased fire? Huge explosion at Iranian drone factory. We just watched that to let you know that these reports, these rumors of war, are accurate. They're on point at some level. All right. Israel on alert. Hezbollah has dug tunnel network. What does it say? tunnel network 3 kilometers from Israel border to attack Israel. So what? What ceasefire? Okay? This is a day ago. This is 2 hours ago. Let's watch this real quick.
I can wear this thing all day. I would probably forget that I was
Whatever
wearing
you
it because
saw.
it's so comfortable.
I totally recommend the pump protect.
What happens when that standard comes?
Iran, a longtime backer of Hamas, cheers attacks on Israel. Tehran jumped at the chance to portray militants' barrages on Israel as revenge for Israeli attacks on Iran. But Israel says Tehran played no role in the latest conflict. The leadership of Iran, engaged in a long shadow war with Israel on land, air, and sea, did not try to conceal the pleasure it took in the most recent Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Over the 11 days of fighting this month, Tehran praised the damage being done to its enemy, and the state news media and conservative commentators highlighted Iran's role in providing weaponry and military training to Palestinian militants in Gaza to hammer Israeli communities.
Okay, so this isn't about anything new. This is about what happened since this skirmish started, and it's supposed to be a ceasefire right now. But what you are looking at is you're looking at both sides. When I say sides, I mean the allies. Iran is allies with Palestine, all right? Which, when you look at deeper, you see the Most High is gathering the troops, all right? He's getting both sides to firm up their agreement with one another because it's time for war. All right, we'll watch the rest of this real quick.
Iran has for decades supported Hamas, the Palestinian militant group that controls Gaza and whose own interests in battling Israel align with Iran's. Experts say that over the years, Iran has provided Hamas with financial and political support, weapons and technology and training to build its own arsenal of advanced rockets that can reach deep into Israeli territory.
They're fighting together. So when the Palestinians and Hamas, which is Hamas, go to war with Iran, go to war with Israel, it's as if Iran is going to war with Israel too. It's a proxy war at this point, but it's a world war at the same time. If you can see through, if you have the eyes and the ears, right, understanding.
But in the assessment of Israeli intelligence, Hamas made its decisions independently of Iran in the latest conflict. In the past year, Israel orchestrated a string of covert attacks on Iran, including the sabotaging of Iran's nuclear facilities.
There we go again with that. All right, letting you know that it's a greater war. It's not just, see, these Amalekites are fighting all the Arabs around them, right? And according to the scriptures, is it second Ezra? Yeah, where the Carmanians come out, right? Where the dragons of Arabia, they're going to come together with many chariots. All right? And that's what they're doing right now. They're aligning themselves with one another, really, and being led into the valley of Yehoshaphat. So.
While Iran's leaders have made no secret of their desire to punish Israel for the wave of attacks, they have struggled to find an effective way to retaliate without risking an all-out war or derailing any chance for a revised nuclear accord with the United States and other world powers.
Well, it's not going to work. All right? Things are going to go according to the Most High's way. The Most High says, it's my way or the Most High's way. All right, if you understand.
So the conservative factions in Iran that had been urging payback for the Israeli strikes seized on a chance to portray the thousands of rockets fired by the Gaza militants as revenge.
Ping. All right. All right, so that's enough. We'll get a couple of precepts and go ahead and close. I know I've already gone over my short time limit. All right. Let's just get the normal ones, because until they go ahead and announce that the world is at war with one another, it's just going to be the gathering, all right? We'll just get a couple and we'll close it up. This is Joel 3. We'll start at the top, right here at 2. Joel 3 and 2, I will also gather all nations. all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Move down to 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near. We're watching that. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I'm strong. This right here is directly goes to Iran getting the nukes. What are they doing? They're enriching uranium. They're getting their delivery systems correct. As if they don't already have all of that, right? That's the rumor. The report is, oh, well, they don't have a nuke yet. Yeah, they do. Right? Assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be weakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Meaning, hey, it's time. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes. Multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. All right? It ain't going nowhere. We're just going to keep the daily update. All right? Ceasefire. The name of this video is going to be called No Ceasefire But Increasefire. All right? So with that, I hope that the elect were edified, and with that, we'll say shalom.